to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do.
What's going on, party people? Afternoon vibes, switching it up.
I got racks to the ATM jam.
Got a cool little show planned for you.
I got racks to the
Tune
ATM
in.
jam. Tell me what you wanna do. You a badass bitch, a badass bitch. I'm gonna get swallowed in that fat ass bitch. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. You a badass bitch, a badass bitch. That don't get swallowed in that fat ass bitch. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do.
Tell a friend.
They shooting in the parking lot. Everybody get low. They shooting in the parking lot. They ain't where you wanna go. Now stand by soldier. And let the work the motherfucking ass like I told you. Stand by soldier. And let the work the motherfucking ass like I told you.
Damn, it was nice. I'm not even gonna reminisce on that. We moving 10 steps ahead. Alright, let's get to it. Welcome everyone. Good morning, good noon, good night, good afternoon, whatever time zone you're viewing on right now. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank you guys for tuning into this multi-million dollar podcast. I'm Kev Prosper, founder and chief architect of Prosperity. Selling travel consulting, books, merchandise, and media that teach people how to master their mindset, find personal freedom, and live life on their own terms. You are tuned into Love and Money on Prosperity Plus. Thank you for contributing to the Cash App. Thank you for contributing. The Cash App is $Prosperity. Testing. Thank you for visiting the website below at prosperunlimited.com. Thank you for liking, subscribing, following, and sharing. There we go. And remember, we do this. And remember to invest in the brand Prosperity ULLC. Build wealth, travel boldly, live royally. Alright, so let's get into the topics today. Let's get into the topics. The topics at hand. There we go. So first order of business.
A San Diego County judge ruled today that there is enough evidence to move forward with a criminal trial for a well-known comedic actor. Faison Love is charged with felony assault. The actor is accused of ripping a credit card reader off a hotel lobby check-in desk last August and throwing it at a clerk. That woman says she suffered a concussion. Prosecutors say Love was angry after a booking he made through a third-party app could not be honored. The hotel clerk does not want to be identified, but she described the incident on the witness stand today during the preliminary hearing.
Mr. Love again was just going off on repeatedly cussing them out. Every other word was a cuss word, and it was getting louder. I then proceeded to say, okay, that's enough. And Mr. Love looked directly at me, pulled the credit card machine off, and threw it at my direction.
Love's defense attorney says that the clerk told police the night of the incident that Love threw the credit card reader.
So apparently Faison Love had a spaz out, crash out moment. And spazzed on the hotel staff. You know what I'm saying? Sorry to hear it. But, you know, these celebrities, they go through a lot. You know, it's hard what they do. And, you know, they have a lot of issues. And people playing with their money. They playing with their money. They're playing with his emotions. You know what I'm saying? You can't have this. But he's facing an assault charge. I mean, no one got harmed. You know what I'm saying? No one got harmed. If anything, he'll probably do community service at best. You know what I mean? Especially if no one was harmed. But I mean, and then they could get greedy and try to go for his pockets. You know, 777. they could try to hit him up. But I don't like. I mean, I'm pretty sure Faison is pretty well off. I would assume. You know what I'm saying? I would assume, right? But I don't think he got it like that for them to be, you know what I'm saying, gold digging him. But I mean, an assault charge, okay, that sounds more legit. You know what I mean? An assault charge makes a lot more sense than a lawsuit. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just a regular lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? 777. You know what I'm saying? Hit him up. All right, let's get into the next topic. The next topic of business today. Wait for it. Come on, blimey. Let's get into the next topic. Come on. Hold on. Let's see what the T is. So, Marcus Smart confronts Jason Tatum on IG Live after signing with the Lakers. So I'm assuming Marcus Smart signed with the Lakers?
Smart is clapping back.
Because I'm pretty sure the Celtics wouldn't give up Jason Tatum. Like that don't even sound right. Let alone the Celtics giving up Jason Tatum to the Lakers, right? With that kind of history? Nah, that's not happening.
At Jason Tatum, and it's getting ugly. Right after signing with the Lakers, Marcus knew Celtics fans would come for him.
I have no idea, but I could definitely tell and say that I'm expecting a lot of boos. I'm expecting a lot of hate.
But what he didn't expect was Jason Tatum throwing shade too. Now Marcus is firing back, and the way he dragged Tatum, yeah, it's messy. Let's break it all down. How Marcus Smart betrayed Boston and confronted his former teammates. The summer of 2025 was supposed to be a rebuilding.
We don't need the history lesson. Get to the T.
All the teams in the NBA, of all the potential destinations that could have made sense for a player of Smart's caliber and experience, the Lakers? The Lakers were the one team that would cause maximum pain to Celtics fans every lead. Marcus Smart publicly criticized.
Who thinks the Lakers is going? Who thinks the Lakers is going to do something this year? Like only 9 Lakers fans in the chat. Only 9 Lakers fans in the chat. Who thinks the Lakers is really going to do something this year? I mean, they didn't make it past the first round. You know what I'm saying? They were a brand new team. Well, just the Luka Doncic acquisition made them a brand new team off the rip. Just that one player. You know. Is this going to be LeBron's farewell season? Who knows, right? Who knows? Is this going to be LeBron's farewell season? Is this going to be Bronny's breakout season? Who knows? There's a lot going on in the Lakers, but there's a lot going on in the West also. So we'll see.
Size Jason Tatum. Smart, who had been with the organization longer than either Tatum or Brown, was watching the team's hierarchy shift around him. He was no longer the unquestioned leader. Instead, he was increasingly being viewed as a supporting player to the team's emerging stars.
I thought that's what he was to begin with.
Dynamics was perfectly captured in one telling statistic that would later become symbolic of the tension. At the time of Smart's public criticism, he was averaging 8.8 points and 4 assists while shooting just 29%. Meanwhile, Tatum was establishing himself as a legitimate All-NBA player, and Brown was
whoever's putting the ball in, whoever has the highest percentage.
And Smart's public comments seemed establishing himself as.
So apparently Smart, Marcus Smart is salty about his time at the Celtics. Oh well.
Centerpiece. Smart provides something neither can offer. Elite defensive intensity combined with veteran leadership that comes from 108 career playoff games.
I felt like he was a key piece to that organization to help them win their championship.
Celtics and his reputation as a mentor during his Washington stint will be valuable for a team aiming to compete in the Western Conference. Smart himself expressed confidence in the team's potential. Perhaps the most compelling aspect of this signing is how it reshapes the Lakers-Celtics rivalry for years to come. The prospect of Smart playing in the twice annual Celtics.
All right, well this ain't really about nothing. I'm thinking it's something, but it ain't. You know what I'm saying? So apparently, you know, Marcus Smart is salty about leaving. Leaving the Celtics after he won a championship with them. But you know, the NBA is very much a business. You know, and you gotta stay on your toes, and it's all about the, you know, what have you done for me lately? You know what I'm saying? So apparently he's feeling the way. But he's I mean, is it safe to say that he's on a better team? Like is he? You know what I mean? Because are the Lakers gonna be better than the Celtics? You know what I mean? So, you know, I know the Celtics. I will say, if the Celtics aren't on a decline, they're very like in the middle of the beginning and the end. You know what I mean? Yeah, I do believe that. Tatum is hurt. Can Brown carry the team? Can Jaylen Brown carry the team by himself? Who knows? We'll see. But I do believe the Lakers are set to have a better season than the Celtics. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I do believe Marcus Smart is in a better situation and has no reason whatsoever to be salty. 777, baby. Next topic. Let's get to it. What this is? Hurry up! Why did this? I gotta scale down my browser, bro. It's just like, bruh.
Hello, it's your favorite sports talk here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember,
my man gonna keep on trucking.
Happen without you. So please subscribe, or you're gonna make Ocho.
Keep on trucking.
I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN.
Yeah, so this is breaking news. Yeah, so Shannon is people saying he got fired, and then some people saying he quit. You know what I mean? But I think he has enough of a name. He's made enough of a name for himself. He could stand on his own, and he can make back that $23 million he gave to that girl. He can make that money back, y'all. So, but I do believe he'll be just fine. You know what I mean? And yeah, he'll be just fine. Let's see what he talking about.
I found out this information a little earlier in the week.
Okay, so he got
really
fired.
The only thing that I really ask is, like, guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really wanted to be about him, and I wanted to be about my family. I know this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, you know, it didn't happen that way. And so as I told him, as I profusely apologized to him earlier today, he said, bro, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize. I'm your big bro. I'm going to love you regardless. We all make mistakes. And he says, bro, I love you. So I'm done with this. You done with it too. Move on. And I really enjoyed my time at ESPN. It gave me an opportunity to bring my audience that saw me really just grow. They saw me, you know, Lakers in 5, and they saw me say all these analogies that my grandparents gave me, and I was able to bring that to ESPN. So I'm very, very grateful for that. But I just wished, of all things, like I said, hey, they did what they felt they needed to do, and I'm at peace with that.
Shannon is very, very, very much a professional. You know what I'm saying? Very much a professional. And we all have our proclivities. We all. Who cares? You know what I mean? ESPN is under Disney, and Disney got to keep a squeaky clean image, even though they trying to push the needle a little bit. They trying to push the, you know what I'm saying? They trying to push the needle a little bit, but they try to keep a squeaky clean image. And as when you under that umbrella, you have to uphold to that. And so I'm pretty sure it wasn't ESPN's decision. It was probably from way higher. Who's the CEO of Disney? Bob Iger or whoever. But whatever the case, you know what I'm saying? Shannon's gonna be all right. He's been all right. You got 23 million to throw like that. You been good. You been chilling. 777, baby. 777. Rack them up. Let's go. You know what I mean? Cool. So let me get into a point that I made in some streams past. I got some feedback on it, and it kind of hit close to home. So I wanted to really hone in on it and break it on down so that it can forever and consistently be broke. Why did I burp when I did that? So let's get into it. So I want to talk about a man's love versus a woman's love. You know what I mean? Now, other content creators, other personalities on the internet, other streamers, other podcasters, they may have touched on it and didn't realize they were touching on it. Others have actually touched on it and broke it down, and they maybe say it in a different way or the same way that I'm saying it. But I don't really give a fuck. Like, so is no one doing it like I'm doing it. You know what I mean? And so I want to take the time out. Hold on. Where is my where'd I put it? Yeah. Let me copy it and paste it here. There we go. Boom. So make sure you see that book right there. Leave the fairy tales up to Disney. My elbow ain't too ashy, is it? Leave the fairy tales up to Disney. The reality of dating. Get that book right there. It's on my website. It's on this website right here. And then you will get the full gist and the meat of everything I talk about on this show. You know what I mean? And you don't have to wonder. There'll be no confusion. I've had several people read it in the past, and they love it. You know what I'm saying? It's opened their eyes. It kind of in a subtle way, it kind of changes their perspective and changes their life. You know what I mean? Because they think they're reading a dating book, but then by the time they get done reading it, it comes off like a self-help book. And I write my books. My non-novels, I don't know what to call them, but my book on self-esteem, New Shoes. I think that was a great concept. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so thankful for God putting that on my heart enough to write a book on. Like, and the book came together masterfully. You know what I'm saying? The concept of it, the artwork, the photography. All of that, everything just came together beautifully. 777, baby, 777. Yeah, and then my what was it? My book, RATCHET-OLOGY. A lot of the women, they see that book, around, and they avoid it. They avoid it like the plague. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. You know what I mean? They women hate being called out. They hate it when the jig is up. You know what I'm saying? They hate whenever you call a woman out, you become the enemy. You know what I mean? But I feel like female narcissism is very, very much under the radar, and that's by design. That's by design. But however, it needs to be called out. So yeah, any of my non-novels, I've written them in a way that they can be forever relevant. I wrote them like the Bible. You know what I'm saying? And so you need to get in on it. You need to get in on it. That's my one and only plug. But before I get into it, let's go to this advertisement by a word from our sponsors. It's not okay. There we go. These are all of my books. My very first book, Lead the Fairy Tales Up to Disney, The Reality of Dating. Haunted Truths, a romance murder mystery set in the heart of Brooklyn during the 1980s, during the height of the crack era. Switch, my romantic comedy. My trilogy, Spirit of the Machine, 1, 2, and 3. Sci-fi action thriller. Okay. It's not playing for some reason. Hold on. Why doesn't that work? I don't get it. Alright. Of my books. My very first book, Lead the Fairy Tales Up to Disney, The Reality of Dating. Haunted Truths, a romance murder mystery set in the heart of Brooklyn during the 1980s, during the height of the crack era. Switch, my romantic comedy. My trilogy, Spirit of the Machine, 1, 2, and 3. Sci-fi action. My poem anthology, Red Garden. That is System of the Sun. That's my book. Okay, that's odd. That's odd. I got to figure that out. Well, so let's just get into it then. Fuck it. A man's love versus a woman's love. So I mentioned that a man's love comes from God. All right, and then let me break down why. So I mentioned that, you know, people. Well, first of all, let's attack the myth. The myth is that children are the only true love. What people get misconstrued is that children don't love you. Not initially. Children grow to love you. They learn to love you. You know what I mean? Children have an attachment to you. They may have a bond to you. You know what I'm saying? But children don't really love you. And you can tell when you're having a bad day. You know what I'm saying? Does your child really care? I mean, they may come up to you, "Mommy, what's wrong?" You know what I'm saying? You know, they learn that they kind of develop a sense of empathy, and they develop, you know, they develop their emotional intelligence depending on what kind of household they grew up in. Right. Let's keep it a bean. And they develop some sort of emotional intelligence, but for the most part, a child don't really care about how hard your day was. And you can see by the way they get on your nerves, right? You can tell. You think they really care that you had a bad day? You think they care about how your day was and you know, how are you doing? Like, children don't give a flying fudge cracker about any of that. No. Mommy, where's my Takis? I don't want to go to school today. I don't want to wear this outfit. He keep on messing with me. Dude, like, because when you think of what is your definition of love? First of all, you know what I'm saying? So you mean to tell me if you think a child's love is true love, you know what I'm saying? Because they've emotionally bonded with you. You know what I mean? And you know, they give you hugs and kisses whenever you ask for it. That's so emotional and physiological dependency is what is your concept of love. Right? So is that's real love? So whatever man you date, you want his love to resemble the love of a child, right? Now I get that you think it's love because because you've bonded with the child and the child is bonded with you, and they see you as their only breath of life in the world, right? Because they're dependent upon you, right? Duh. You know what I mean? So once again, here we go. So your concept of love, as a woman, your concept of love is dependency, right? You want that. You want whoever. If you consider someone to love you, they have to, in order for them to love you, they have to be dependent upon you. That's your perception, right? 777. So when a man loves you, you know what I'm saying, you don't really register that as love, because he's not a child. He's not like a child. You know what I mean? He's not like a child. He's not coming to you for attention. He's not dependent upon you. He's not he's not giving you hugs and kisses at your command, right? So ultimately, he must not love you, right? I guess. So this is where I get into the way a man loves versus the way a woman loves. You know what I mean? Because it's two different perspectives. It kind of veers off. You know what I mean? But ultimately, and see, this conversation isn't really about a woman loving a man. It's more so about a man loving a woman and how that woman perceives that love. That's what the conversation is really about. Because at the end of the day, ultimately, let me blow this back up. Because ultimately, ladies, it's about you, right? It's all about you. You know what I'm saying? Hey. It's all about you. So ultimately, it has nothing to do with you loving a man. However, this but a woman loving a man, unilaterally, a woman's love directed towards a man. We're going to touch on that later into the conversation. So, a man don't love you the way a child loves you, right? A man doesn't love you. A man isn't dependent upon you. He's not he doesn't seek attention from you. And he's not obligated to you. You know what I mean? A child is dependent upon you, and then they're obligated to you by law. You know what I mean? If that child runs away, you know what I'm saying, the first person they call is the parent, right? Typically the mama, right? Everything is about mama, right? So a man isn't obligated to you. And so where there's no dependency and no obligation, that leads to insecurity for a lot of women. You know what I'm saying? Because, well, he's not obligated to me, he's not dependent upon me, so now they're thinking, oh, he could leave at any minute. You know what I mean? Whoa, you know what I mean? We can't have that. We can't, because a woman's nature is built around security. You know what I'm saying? Men marry for love, women marry for security, right? 777. So because of that, you know what I mean? Women are initially very skeptic of men, let alone a man's love. You know, so because the man is not obligated to you, but for him to love you, it's a choice. He chooses to be with you. He chooses to direct his love towards you and give you the attention and the affection that you seek, the same way you seek it from a child, right? But his love is, because it's not obligated and there's no expectation of anything in return. So let's say, okay, a child is obligated to you, right? And so you perceive that child as loving you, and so because of that, you want to love on your child. You spoil them. You the 5 love languages, right? You spoil them. You give them words of encouragement. Yeah, you can do it. You can do anything. Yeah. Yeah. But with the man, you know what I'm saying, the man will tell you you're beautiful, and and you don't have to say it back. In many cases, I'll tell a woman I love her, and she ain't got to say it back. That's just how I feel right about now. I just want to let you know how I feel. I love you, girl. You know what I'm saying? And I'm doing it for me. I'm not doing it for you. It makes me feel good to pour my love on you. That pleases me, right? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a gift. A man's love is a gift. There's nothing in it. There's no expectation of return. You know what I'm saying? When a man loves you, he busts his behind and gets out there and works hard to build a life for you. You know what I'm saying? If he wants anything in return, is maybe some sex and some kissy feely touchy here and there. You know what I'm saying? Rock his world. You know what I'm saying? Like give him that, rub it, that smack it, flip it, rub it down. Oh no. You know what I'm saying? That's all he really want at the end of the day. But he love you. He want to see you good, so he gonna get out there and bust his ass for you. This is another reason why people who say love don't pay the bills never experience love. Because if you've experienced a man's love, you would know that it pays the bills. Say that. But and then so now in contrast, well, hold on. So hold on. Let me adjust my talking points. Don't you hate when your keyboard is in caps lock and you be typing away and you forget that it's in, and now you looking goofy typing in all caps? Hey. Shizzle. No. There we go. All right. So yeah, a man's love versus, so that's really what this should be titled: a man's love versus a child's love. You know what I'm saying? A child won't pedestalize you the way a man does. You know what I'm saying? A man will work hard and bust his behind for his wife just as much as he will for his children. You know what I'm saying? But for his wife, it's different because, he sleeps in the bed with her every night. You know what I'm saying? Or he's planning a future with her. Like when a man, dreams of a family, he doesn't dream of, a wife and kids. He dreams of the wife and then the wife having his kids. You know what I'm saying? Whereas when a woman dreams of a family, the first thing she dreams of is kids. And that's natural. You know what I mean? But I will say, if any of the fellas watching this, if you're trying to vet a woman, you know what I mean, and I would say ask her what her vision of a family is. You know what I mean? And if she breaks it down and she talks about what kind of booties you know what I'm saying, the child is gonna wear, and what kind of stroller the child is gonna be in, and all she talks about is the child. That means she has no vision for you. There's no room for you in her vision. Some women don't even have a vision. You know what I mean? So if you really want to vet a woman, you know what I'm saying, see what her mind, like see how far she can look into the future. You know what I'm saying? If she talks about growing old with someone, if she talks about someone to go on vacations with or spend time with, and and vibe, someone to vibe with, this is a woman who has room for you in her mind. You know what I'm saying? This is a woman who has room for you in her mind, and that's the kind of woman you want to build a family with, because when it's all said and done, when it's all said and done, no matter how many kids you have, whether you have one kid, whether you have no kids, or whether you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids, you know what I'm saying? No matter how many kids you have, she's always going to not necessarily put you first, but she's going to know to prioritize you because she sees you in her future. And that's very important. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times women get in relationships, right? They'll get into a relationship, and then and you know, they say, you know, babies, having a baby ruins the relationship. You know what I mean? And so that's a statistic. But like after the first year of having the baby, the relationship kind of falls apart, and then you know, it begins to unravel. And a lot of that is typically due to nature, you know, postpartum and all that other shit, all that other, you know, women stuff, right? Right? But what happens is, she gets very a woman has a tendency to get very tunnel vision about her children, even though there's a man in the house. And so she's liable to neglect the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because she's so wrapped up and caught up in the kids. You know what I mean? And so, and that's why, like, as a man, I think, you know, you want to, like, yeah, you might be busy hustling and bustling and busting your ass, but you want to be more proactive with helping her with the kids. You know what I'm saying? Because it will pay dividends and help you in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, take the kids out more often. You know, have the diapers and the bottles ready whenever you can. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. But that's just household shit. But ultimately, if that woman, before she had the kids, she saw a future with you as opposed to a future with you giving her kids, right? She saw, you know, she wants somebody to grow old with. She wants somebody she could vibe with, somebody, and then she talks about that a lot. She talks about having someone like that in her life a lot. When she talks about her future, like, and that's what she talks about, as opposed to just, oh, having these kids and sending them to this school and my children this and my future children that. Like, if she talks about the man in her future, then that's a woman you want to build a family with. It's a little nugget right there, little nugget. But so, you know, a child isn't going to pedestalize you when a child isn't going to pedestalize you in the way that a man is. You know what I'm saying? A man is going to hold you in high regard, because if he loves you, he's going to feel like it's his duty to protect and provide for you. And he doesn't even see it as protecting and providing. He sees it as I just want to make sure she good. You know what I mean? That's it. I just want to make sure she good. You happy? You know what I'm saying? And this is where the term happy wife, happy life comes from. People debate that, you know, the red pill argument debates that and all that. I get that. Okay, cool, whatever. But, you know, I do believe that, you know, there are good women out there. We just don't see them because they're busy being good women. You know what I mean? And so there are women who are worth the happy wife, happy life. There's women. I do believe that there are women who are worth busting your ass for and pleasing for. And I will get to that. I will get to why in the end. So this is basically how a man's love is structured. And women tend to take, this is why they say women don't love a good man, because women tend to take a man's love for granted. Because when a man loves you, his first instinct is to protect and provide for you, and then that instantly calms down your inner cave woman. You know what I'm saying? Because now you got that security. Right? You got that security, so now you can kick back and do what you want because he's protecting and providing. He's my provider. He's my provider. 777. Right? So you can run it up. Now you feel like you can run it up and run amok because he's checking off your security box. That's the first thing. That's the first box a woman checks off in her mind when it comes to a man. You know what I'm saying? Is he? Am I safe? Am I secure? Do I have to worry about? Do I have to think about? Do I have to? No. You know what I'm saying? Okay, good. Now I can run wild. I can run free and just making my way downtown. So and so this is why they say, you know, women don't love a good man. And then a lot of it has to do with, so when you talk about a woman's love, okay, this is how men love. Well, how do women love? Where do we begin? Because women are you know, I like the juxtaposition of in the universe of the masculine and the feminine energies. You know what I mean? And how in the physical, biologically, we're even biologically and physiologically we're built different. You know what I'm saying? In order to reflect the energies in the universe, you know, as above, so below, right? So because physiologically women are naturally more emotional, you know what I'm saying? Because of that, they tend to be more fickle. You know what I mean? So a quote unquote a woman's love is typically for sale. You know what I'm saying? It's for sale. To the highest bidder, you know what I'm saying? Typically, you know, this is why a woman will stay with a man for 20 years and then turn on him. You know what I mean? You know, this is why they say, you know what I'm saying, women don't love a good man. You know, because you know, it's whatever's clever, and you know, this is the backfire of hypergamy. This is how hypergamy backfires. Even though hypergamy is natural, you know what I'm saying? It's functional in society. It's the motor that drives society. You know, it's not the most stable. If not checked, it's not the most stable, I will say. You know what I mean? So yes, a woman should be hypergamous when finding a mate, but when she finds that good mate, she finds a good thing. Chill out, sit the fuck down. Like, don't tear apart your family because you're not happy. Like, come on. Like, sit your ass down. Like you like, sis, you ain't got it like that. Like, chill out. You know what I mean? So women are typically fickle. You know what I'm saying? In majority, women are typically fickle, and so a woman's love tends to be for sale. So what in the past quote I said that, you know, a man's love comes from God because it's a gift, right? He's not obligated to you, and so when he gives you his love, he doesn't expect anything in return. He doesn't respect anything in return. So that comes from God, right? And so that woman who will resist her natural nature to be fickle and to take things for granted, and who can recognize and appreciate that man's love, that woman comes from God. When she can resist her womanly urge and her womanly nature to be fickle and take things for granted, that is the woman who comes from God. The man's love comes from God, but the woman comes from God when she can resist her womanly nature. You know what I'm saying? Because a man's love, like, a woman can turn on a man. You know what I'm saying? A woman can turn on a man, and I can testify to that firsthand. A woman can turn on a man all day long, but a man's love never changes. You know what I'm saying? He's solid as a rock. He was there for you back then. He'll be there for you now. If he hasn't moved on and gotten married and started a whole nother family already. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, ultimately the woman who can overcome her true nature, you know what I'm saying, and recognize a good man, recognize a man that loves her. You know what I'm saying? A woman who's mature, and that comes from wisdom and maturity and proper upbringing too. There's a lot of women who they may love that man too, but it's just, you know what I'm saying? They sitting there like Pookie, scratching, and the streets just keep calling me, man. The streets just keep calling me. You know what I mean? I sort of liken it to that woman who had the weight loss surgery. She was I don't know if she was married or in a relationship or what, and she had a good man, and she loved him and he loved her, but she went and had a relationship surgery, and then she dropped him. She dumped him and cheated on him like crazy. Like, it was ridiculous. Like, yo, sis, you out here wilding. And one thing I always say, you never level up from a good man. You never level up from a good man. And, you know, now she has a trail of bodies, you know what I'm saying? She's in the streets. And then a lot of times what happens to a lot of women who run to the streets, they run to the streets thinking that it's going to be a temporary thing. It's just a vibe. I'm just trying to satisfy my needs or whatever. They think they just, you know, hopping in and hopping out like hopscotch, and that's not really the case. A lot of times you never replace a good man, right? So you never level up from a good man. So you run to the streets, and then that good man, he's out. And then you find yourself stuck in the streets. Like, yo. Now ain't no good men. Whoever you fucking, you realize you gotta keep fucking them unless you don't want to fuck them no more. Now you ain't got nobody to fuck. Like, you're not young and hot to trot like you was, and now you stuck in the streets. Like, it's, and you see that. I mean, the musical chairs is real. Like, you get older. You know, you get older. You know what I'm saying? People die. People die off. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? People marry off, or people get sick. They get injured. You know what I'm saying? They can't fuck like they used to. You know what I mean? And then you just left in the streets, or like you may try to get in a relationship, but you so damaged and scarred from the streets that you can't function in a relationship with a man. You know what I'm saying? So you pretty much stuck in the streets. Like, we all know women like that. They in their 40s and 50s and 60s, and you wondering like, damn, you ain't like what's wrong? Like, you can't, you know what I mean? Like, you still ain't got nobody? Like, what the fuck? Like, you ain't got a nigga you ain't as much as even talking to? Yeah, you know, they might have a sneaky link. Of course, any woman can get dick, you know what I'm saying, with the snap of a finger, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, but like, you ain't really, like, all this time you still ain't got nobody, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? And like most men, like even me, you know what I'm saying, most men, they know that if they wanted to settle down, more than likely they probably could be with somebody. Whether they like really, you know, they don't necessarily have to be madly in love, but if they really wanted to settle down, if they wanted to come out of the streets, they could come out the streets if they want to. You know what I'm saying? If they really put their mind to it, and you know what I mean. But for a woman, it's a little more dangerous, and it's dangerous too because a woman because of the fact that a woman knows that she can get dick whenever she want. She feel like she could leave the streets whenever she want. It don't work that way for a woman. It don't. You could easily be you fumble a good man, you could be stuck in the streets. It'll happen. So this was a good show. This was a good talk, yo. I like this vibe. I should have shut my blinds. But I like the little sunlight. I don't care. I'm not gonna adjust my filter or anything like that. I'm good. You know what I mean? I'll think about it. I don't stream in the daytime much often anyway. So, but yeah. If you are tuned in, I want to thank you for tuning into this multi-million-dollar stream. I'm Kev Prosper, founder and architect of Prosperity, selling travel consulting, books, merchandise, and media that teach people how to master their mindset and how to find personal freedom and live life on their own terms. You are tuned into Love and Money on Prosperity U LLC. Thank you for contributing to the Cash App above at $Prosperity U LLC. Thank you for visiting this website below at prosperunlimited.com. And thank you for liking, subscribing, following, and sharing. Remember, we do this every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And remember to invest in the brand Prosperity ULLC. Build wealth, travel boldly, live royally. All right, thank you guys so much. I will see you guys next time. All right, bye.